We can see land, that's very positive. Kel's getting her surf on a little bit. I think the log very briefly hit 10 knots, which is quite quick for us.
In this episode, we cross the Aegean, racing along with some really strong winds. We arrive at Lavriou, where we check into Greece, before proceeding to one of our favourite places, Vari. We're just doing a final weather check. We couldn't leave before the sun came up because there's fishing nets and fishing boats everywhere, so you can't get through, and a lot of them aren't lit. So we just wanted to wait for the sun to come up. Yeah, it's marginal, but it's probably the best of the next 4 or 5 days. So we're going to give it a crack. Anchor's in, and we're off 95-ish miles to go. Could take anywhere from 12, 13 to 20 hours, who knows? Let's see.
It's 6:30 in the morning and we are heading out. It's going to be a lovely day, I think. Just got to keep an eye on the winds. They are expected to get pretty strong right in the middle of the Aegean.
Best part of being up early is those sunrises. Back when I was in the Navy, I used to love the morning watch because you got the beautiful sunrise and you also got to get off work just as everyone was coming to work. And then you did other work, but you got to get off the bridge.
Our chances are pretty good, I reckon. Caught a couple yesterday. Crossing the mighty Aegean Sea now. Wind's starting to pick up again, which we were expecting. It's back up at sort of 13 to 14 knots and we're nudging 8 knots log speed.
We're sort of halfway across now the Aegean Sea. We're more than halfway. So we've got about 30 miles to run until we can sort of hit the safety of those islands on the outskirts of mainland Greece. So not bad. 30 more miles to go, making about 7 knots, so it should only take us about 4.5 hours at this speed. The wind is forecast to continue picking up, which is why we've reefed now.
We can see land, that's very positive. Kel's getting her surf on a little bit. I think the log very briefly hit 10 knots, which is quite quick for us. Kel's shipped a couple of gophers during her watch. I've been down below watching these waves go boosh, splashing through. Certainly not enough for us to obscure any of our vision by putting up the clears. Just annoying if you're not paying attention, you know, if you're not seeing what's going on, you can take a gopher in the face. There we go, the wind was creeping up again as we got to the gap between these two major Greek islands. We reefed the Genoa to 60% and it's just topped 30 knots of true wind speed. We're keeping the apparent wind speed around the 24 to 26 mark, which is okay in this sail configuration. I've hit 10 knots of log speed. With that quartering sea, it's quite an unpleasant ride. My major concern at the moment would be if George the autopilot packs a sad because it's too hard to steer. Need to be very quick onto it to get us back onto a safe heading.
We have about 17 miles till we get to the anchorage for us tonight. Making about 6 knots. We're under engine power, but there's a little bit of wind, so we think we're getting a little bit of an extra boost from having the mainsail up. It's quite pleasant. The seas have calmed right down, so it's much more pleasant now. So it's just a matter of getting there. Hopefully we'll get some wind up soon so we can turn the motor off. But for now, we're just having a lovely afternoon/evening motor sail.
Quick dinner, first Greek salad of being back in Greece. Seems appropriate.
With Turkish ingredients.
With Turkish ingredients.
The the wind has come back. It's not exactly where we need it to be from, but it's pretty close. So we've got the sails out, which means we're going faster. We're just about to shut down the engines. So fingers crossed we'll actually be able to get in by about 9 p.m.
Well, we're going faster. It's a perfect course at the moment. Awesome.
We've only got about 5 miles to run to the anchorage. We've sailed most of the way. The vast majority has been under sail, so it's been really nice.
Oh, it's starting to get darker now, but we're making such good time sailing, we don't really want to stop.
We're just coming in now. We've got about 1.5 miles to run to our anchorage. I thought for sure we'd be doing 3 or 4, if not more, hours of sailing at night. My face is red from windburn today. Just got the wind, so much wind. I am covered in sunscreen, but I am wind burnt. Been a very successful day, I'd have to say.
Not over yet. Not over yet, but yes, I agree, very successful.
And that's us done for the night. A hot shower and a good night's sleep is all I need right now. This is the view we've woken up to this morning.
Very Simpson-esque.
Yeah, as Al said, very Simpson-esque. We are heading into the port to check in. We have all the paperwork, all the documents we need for both ourselves and the boat. So it should be painless, but you never quite know.
And it starts with a 1.5 mile long dinghy ride in the Meltemi.
Yeah, unfortunately where we're anchored is nice and safe for the boat and for us, but it is a bit of a dinghy ride to town. So, will the dinghy start first time? 1 go. 2 goes. 7. 7 goes. It needs a surface.
Back to Greece.
First step, port police. Then I think we go to immigration and then customs and then back to port police. Port police is all done. It was very painless. As normal, you can't figure out which door to go in, so you have to ask someone and they just say, go through the blue door. No signs, but all good. The port policeman was very friendly. Stamped our crew list. It cost us €15, and then our next stop is immigration.
Immigration done, passport stamped, only the hard one left to go. So
this one's hard because there's a new online system where you have to put all your details in to go to customs to get issued what's called a transit log, which is almost like a passport for a boat. We kept getting error messages, and then Al looked at his email and he'd like submitted the transit log 7 times, so we don't know what's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Now we've hit a hurdle. We've arrived at customs and we can't find anyone. Like no one, like the place is deserted. And it's meant to be open all day, so they must be off doing something. It looks like someone's there now. Fingers crossed. False alarm. The guy that we saw was waiting for the customs officers too. So, no customs officer yet. Ellie's just waiting. I got back to Al and it turns out we're at the wrong customs office. So we're now moving to the main customs office. So, we're at the other customs office. And he has said that the online one is not working yet for him, so we can't use that, so we're going to fill out all the details again. But also, we're actually meant to go to the other one that we were at before we come to him. So the other guy sent us to him, he's sending us back to the other guy. It may or may not be there because he goes out and does inspections of boats, so it could be a long morning. That's right. Give me an update. How's that morning going?
We've been sent back to the customs office that sent us to that customs office, telling us that we now need to fill out a form that we've never filled out before, which is the particulars of our boat, because we may get inspected.
Which is all the stuff that was on the online form that is now compulsory in Greece, except here they said they don't accept it.
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks before they'll accept the electronic one.
It's all good. We are happy to be in Greece. We shouldn't complain. It's just a little bit frustrating when you do all the homework. You think you've got everything you need and it still goes wrong. But, oh well, it's just time. What it means though is we have to wait an hour or so for the other customs guy to come back. So, I think Elle's going to raid the local bakery.
Yes, please.
Sorry.
So good.
What we're going to do though is move the dinghy a bit closer because we asked a guy at the charter company if we could leave the dinghy there for a while we checked in, and I said maybe an hour or two. It's going to be way longer. So we're just going to move the dinghy and then we get to go and wait for the first customs guy, who hopefully won't want to check the boat and send us to the second customs guy. Feeling in time with a visit to the marine shop. Very dangerous for the credit card. Very, very dangerous.
We've also got some construction adhesive, Seeker 291, for gluing that piece back above the window screen.
The customs official from the first office just turned up. And after all that, she didn't even read the piece of paper, she just signed the bottom and sent us on our way. So the good news is no inspection. And the reason that is good news is because we're not in the port, we're anchored outside about 2 miles, well, 1.5 miles north. And the dinghy ride to get there is terrible today, so that was going to be pretty horrible to get her there and back.
3 hours and 5 officers down and still going.
An hour and 15 to get the transit log. We only have 1 more stop, so now it's back to the port police, who basically checks us in and out of this particular port. Okay, time check. What's that? What time do we go here? 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
4.5 hours. All done.
Okay, very marginal conditions outside Lavriou. I think the trick is just to go very, very slowly. Kel's driving. I'm just going to hold on. Cruise ship that one. The worst bit is when the waves are reflecting off this concrete wall. Like a machine. That's not easy. Yeah, today's the day when you really appreciate having a 20 horse outboard and a big heavy dinghy.
Alright, it's 2 PM, we're back on the boat. Elle's bringing the anchor in. And we are heading off to a town called Vari, which we've been to before, we really like, and has a very safe anchorage, which is really nice swimming. So we're not going to stay around here, there's just nowhere to anchor near the town. We hadn't realised when we came in last night, but just over here is other people camped on the shore. We kept smelling barbecues and couldn't figure out why. That would explain it. They had much better smelling dinner than we did. So an hour ago we were smashing through waves in the worst dinghy ride of our lives. It was pretty yuck. And now we've got this beautiful downwind sail. Everything is quite calm. The wind's dropped down. We're just cruising along at 6 knots, heading around the corner, then back up north to Vari. There is a temple of Poseidon. Beautiful anchorage next to it. Lots of charter boats go down there from night.
Well, we've been sailing with just the Genoa and the wind's been up to 26, 27 true. Couldn't get the apparent below about 24, 25 at one point, so we reefed the Genoa itself into 75%. It's got dots to help you see fractions of the sail.
We've lost a bit of wind, but we're still making way, just only about 4.5 knots. As soon as we come around the corner we have to go north, so we're going to hit all the wind again. I'm not sure we'll be able to sail up there. Has come around a bit more, it's now sort of northeast. So at the moment we're sailing up to Vari, which I was not expecting. We're going from there around and up to here. So we sailed down here with the northeast wind, which was not predicted. It's meant to be more north. Sailed all the way through here, and then we're just cruising up here, and we may be able to sail the whole way. I'm a very, very happy human when I can just turn the engines on for the 5 minutes to pick the pickup and get out of there. The good news is, even though it's wind here, because the wind's coming from the land, there's not much swell, so it's still pretty stable. It's not chucking us around or anything, it's just windy. The wind was getting too crazy. We've got 2 miles to run, so we just pulled the head sail in so we can get in nice and safely. We've got a few little islands to navigate past. Been a big day. Big day, slightly stressful morning, but some great sailing. I've really enjoyed the sailing today. It's a fish. But he's tiny, so I'm going to throw him back. This weather's nuts. The forecast for the location we're in right now is for 7 knots of winds with gusts up to 15. And we're seeing 21, 22 sustained with gusts up to sort of 27, 28. So it is crazy. There's some pretty amazing boats here. There's lots of other boats here, but the beauty of this anchorage is it's huge. We're only in about 6 meters of water, so it should be nice and safe, and it's pretty good holding. Well, fun day of sailing, but right now we're going to shut everything down, have some dinner, hot shower, and bed, I think.
That is a fast ferry. You can tell because it's got fast ferries written in really big letters on the side of it. And it's going real fast.
Date night tomorrow.
Date night tomorrow. Bakery date.
Yeah, so bakery for lunch.
Bakery date breakfast. Bakery date lunch.
Euros.
Date night dinner.
Yeah, the Euros restaurant for dinner.